after you have your shorts cut along the bottom of the hem here, once you have this cut so you don't have any extra strings hanging out and you have them so that they're going to be even, you are going to be doing a very similar step to your waistline step, where it's going to be like we're making the casing, except instead of putting elastic through, we're just going to sew it all the way around. Okay, this time we are going to be having a fold that's 1/2 of an inch, and then we're going to keep that one folded and fold it 1 inch. So we're going to have a little bit different measurements than at the top, because when we did the top it was 1/2 of an inch and then 1 1/2 inches. Okay, so when you're doing this step, you can measure and make a mark with your chalk at 1 inch and at 2 1/2 inches all the way around your shorts. And those will be the lines that you will be folding to. Okay, so I'm going to do that on one side, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So at 1 inch and at 2 1/2. Once I have the lines, I know that that's where I'm going to be folding up to. So I'm going to take the bottom of my shorts and I'm going to fold up to that first line, and I'm going to crease it in place or finger press it to make it so it's going to want to stay there. And then I'm going to be folding it again down to the second line. So I keep it folded at 1/2 of an inch, and then I fold it again down to my next line, and I should have a 1 inch fold now across the bottom. So if I measure it, it's exactly 1 inch. Okay. Once I have it where I want it to be, I'm going to put a pin in there to make it so that it stays in place. Okay, then I'm going to put another one. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing to this side. So I flip it over, I fold up to the yellow line, okay, and I crease it, and then I fold up to the next line, and I crease it again. So my fold is going to end up being 1 inch, and then I pin it in place like this. And then I'm going to do the sides. Okay? So I can make it so that I want it to all match. So all the way around, I'm going to fold again to my 1/2 of an inch. Okay, and then a 1 inch fold. And I'll pin it so it stays right where I want it to be. And then I'll do the same thing to the inside. So I fold it to the first line, to the second line, crease it so it stays, and then pin it. Once you have one leg done, you're going to do the exact same thing to the other leg before you go over to the irons.